What the fuck are you doing?
Me? Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Obviously, I'm listening to What the Fuck Are You Doing podcast, one of the newest podcasts of You Run Podcast Network. It's a podcast featuring E-Bitty and Herm Dizzle. They come together Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, get it, to bring you episodes about pop culture, movies, and any bullshit they can think of. Yo, this podcast got so many dick jokes, it's like a bag of dicks. Anyways, check out the WTF Are You Doing podcast, brought to you right here by the You Run Podcast Network.
Yeah, I'm a stuff crust. A nigga some mystery ass I'm a stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, I'm a stuff crust. So much cheese on a plus, yeah, I'm a stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, I'm a stuff crust. A nigga some mystery ass I'm a stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, I'm a stuff crust. So much cheese on a plus, yeah, I'm a stuff crust.
What up, everybody? Welcome to Greg Hasn't Seen It. I'm your host with the most on ones and twos. You know they call me Shed Dancing. You know they call me Shed Lasso. You know they call me Dawn in the Shed. It's your boy, Ryan Wilson. And with me tonight, follically challenged himself, the sweatpants overlord. Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory J. Hoey. Greg, hi.
Hey, I was just on the horror version of Jeopardy, and I lost. Lost it all.
Good. I wouldn't want you as a partner. Now, what do we like with a partner, ladies and gentlemen? All the way from Dewey Lake or some body of water where there's dew. The motherfucking pride of Detroit. Jonathan, how are you tonight?
Oh, you know, I've been hanging out in trash cans and dumpsters, watching shitty movies, and, picking whatever ends up on me. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am fine. Nobody ever asked me how I'm doing. Let's just all assume.
I just did.
I'm always doing well. Always doing well. Always doing well. And also with me tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the mighty tidy, Pennsylvania's own, the superstar of J-pop, ladies and gentlemen, from Pop Culture Reflections, Justin. Justin, what's good, baby?
I wish I had a better name. You got to call John Jonathan. Mine's just Justin. I fucking hate that.
For the record,
terrible.
my name's not actually Jonathan. It is just John. But whatever.
You called him Jonathan. It's not even his name. But hey, I'm happy to be here. Hello.
Hi, I'm Gregory.
We got that, Greg. Thank you.
It's pronounced Grigori.
Oh,
You Russian bastard.
Gregorius.
What's the J stand for?
James.
Oh.
Gregory James Hoey Jr. And my social security number is...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Amazing. That's a combination of my luggage. That was a lightning fast Spaceballs pull for all you unaware out there. All right, so what are we doing here, John? Like, how's things in Detroit? Is it getting cold yet? Is your pizza still inferior?
Okay, first off, my pizza is not inferior, regardless of temperature. And second, no, it is not getting fucking cold. It's 80 degrees today, and I'm kind of annoyed about that. Thank you for bringing it up.
Sorry.
What kind of pizza does Detroit have?
Detroit-style pizza?
What style is that? Is that like upside down kind of? Is it like all sauce?
You ever
and
have
cheese?
Jets? Do you guys have Jets over there?
No.
I mean, we have Jets, the airplane.
Yeah.
There's
No.
such a
Jets.
restaurant named Jets.
Jets is a pizza chain I thought they were national, but apparently you guys don't get that. So, Detroit-style pizza is a square pizza that's baked in a deeper pan, so you get more crust baked into it, as opposed to a crust just around the edge on it. Generally, it will have often it will have sauce on top of the cheese as opposed to under it.
We call that grandma pie here.
What if I want my cheese well done? Is that possible?
Yes, it is.
I want light on the cheese and well done. Ryan knows how I like my pizza. Burnt.
Yeah, shitty, fucking terrible.
No.
I would never share a pizza with this kid ever. It's pathetic. Light sauce, light cheese, well done.
Yeah, I tell my dad, I'm like, I got a couple pieces left. You want a piece of pizza? He's like, no, you always have it burnt. I was like, all right. Okay. Pump the brakes there.
Justin, are you brave with your pizza choices?
No, I'm lame. All day, every day. And I don't have a RoboCop statue in my town or state.
Neither do we yet. We're still working on
You're
that.
going to, though. You're going to. I just know it.
Yeah, but you got Hershey's chocolate.
I do have Hershey's chocolate.
We've already promised a field trip out to that statue if it ever goes up. So
Do a live stream there at the RoboCop statue if that happens, please.
that's the plan. So
Nice.
I almost made it to Hershey, Pennsylvania for a track meet when I was the anchor of our running team, and I blew it for the team because I was too
You
slow.
fucking blew it.
Yeah, I think it was the varicose veins. They were slowing me down.
Did you go to New Hope with us, Greg?
I did not. I've never been to Pennsylvania.
Oh shit, sucks. No offense, Justin.
Yeah, you don't go to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania goes to you. And I don't even know what the fuck that means. And yes, Pennsylvania does suck.
it's got you. It's got Monroeville Mall. It's got Boomer and Gabby.
Oh, yes.
It's the home of Ween.
It's the home of Ween, apparently. I guess that's important to some people.
And Hershey chocolate.
Yeah, I got really drunk and saw NoFX's bass player cut his hand open. That was in Pennsylvania. That was fun.
There you go.
Fantastic. All right, well, we're not really here to talk about Fat Mike cutting his hand in Pennsylvania, although that's a
With the
name.
bass.
That's a good name for a podcast as well.
That's next week's episode.
Can someone really illuminate me on what we are here to talk about?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the lead on this since we're being quiet. Over the course of time, Greg has expressed to pretty much anyone who will listen that apparently he likes horror movies but doesn't watch them, at least not the ones that are relevant in the world. So somewhere along the way, Justin and I decided to take it upon ourselves to blow out and pop Greg's cherry with horror movies and start introducing him to some classics so that when he watches these movies like Until Dawn or I don't know, all these other new bullshits that come out, that he realizes the garbage that they actually are because there's so many better things out there in the world. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
Yeah, that tickles my fancy.
Well, that's good. I'm here to tickle anything that you let me tickle.
Thanks, bro.
I've definitely seen a lot of horror movies. I just haven't seen some of the classics, like, some Friday the 13th, some Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen all the bad ones of Nightmare on Elm Street and all the bad ones of Friday the 13th.
There are no bad ones of Friday the 13th.
I was going to say, go ahead and say that about Nightmare on Elm Street, but there is no bad Friday the 13th. Greg, knock it the fuck
I
off.
stand corrected. So I've seen Jason Goes to Hell, I've seen Jason X, and Jason Takes Manhattan.
All right, they're all great. What's the problem?
Nothing. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Okay, stop it.
I like how you skip the one that I might forgive you saying is not great in
Which one?
Friday 7.
Oh, Freddy vs. Oh, okay. Well, I see Freddy vs. Jason as well.
He didn't say 7 though. He said Takes Manhattan.
I said
that's 8.
that would be the one that I would forgive him saying is bad. So
Yes, I kind of agree with that.
yeah, I still like it, but I agree that it's not objectively a movie that's good worth watching.
All right, well, tonight we're here to talk about a different iconic slasher, if I'm correct. Gentlemen, who tonight are we here to talk about? To the uninitiated Gregory James Hoey.
Well, I don't think there's any better character that is more iconic to talk about to start a series like this than Michael Myers in the original 1978 classic Halloween. For anyone who is not named Greg, spoilers from here on out, but if you haven't seen this movie, there's only so much we can do to help you. And Justin and I can't start a podcast with everyone, so we only do this for Greg.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're going to start with Halloween. We do have this is going to be a reoccurring series, so this won't be the first or the last time that you hear this. We kind of like the little anagram game that we've been doing recently. So this one's going to have kind of a standard anagram that we'll go through. A lot of times horror movies get labeled as trash cinema for a variety of reasons. I don't think this movie falls under that, but we're doing it anyway. So we're going to run through a little game of anagram stuff, and every one of these is going to focus around the word trash. So for this one, for Halloween 1978, one of the ones that matters, we're going to start with the title and the intro and a quick summary, which is our T in the wetter trash. And for this, again, the title's Halloween. And the quick summary of it is, after 15 years in a padded cell for carving up his sister, Michael Myers decides that therapy's overrated, breaks the hell out, and heads back to Haddonfield. Not for a family reunion, but to sulk in bushes, snack on neighborhood pets, and occasionally pick up his favorite pastime, which is murder. So with that, I'm going to turn the mic to Justin. And Justin, do you want to let us know some of the actors, the directors, some of the people that are important that are in this movie?
Yes, sir. So it's directed by some dude named John Carpenter. It was written by Carpenter and Deborah Hill. The cast. All right. So we got Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. We got Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie. She also was in The Fog, Prom Night, Road Games, True Lies, just to name a few. We got Nancy Keese. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she's playing Annie. She was also in The Fog, also in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, Assault on Precinct 13. We got PJ Souls as Linda. She's probably best known from Carrie, Rock and Roll High School, even a comedy from the 80s called Private Benjamin. We got Charles Cyphers as Brackett, also played in The Fog, Escape from New York, Death Wish 2. And interesting fact about this, so this was a relatively short shoot, only lasting about 20 days. And John Carpenter completed the entirety of the now iconic score by himself in just 3 days. Wow. Probably less time than it took Greg to watch this movie.
Hey.
The only name I would throw in there that you left out would be Dean Cundy, which if you're not familiar with John Carpenter, you probably don't know half the movies that Justin just rattled off that these actors are in, because they're, for the most part, all John Carpenter regulars. But Dean Cundy was a cinematographer on this movie, and I got a feeling that's going to come back up again before we're done talking about this.
So can I say real quick that I have seen actually plenty of Michael Myers movies. I've seen Austin Powers 1, Austin Powers 2, Shrek, and So I Married an Axe Murderer, which is very underrated.
I would have really enjoyed seeing Shrek pop up in Haddonfield somewhere. That would have been fun.
I'll wait till the license gets done or whatever, and they have like a horror movie of Shrek. I was thinking about that today.
Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So the question is, would Shrek be the killer or would Shrek be the final girl?
Well, shit. Shrek would have to be the killer in my eyes. I mean, let's make that bog worth something.
Yeah, there we go. So, before we get into this, and Ryan, feel free to... Ryan, is this your first time with this movie, or have you seen this one before?
Oh, fuck no. I've seen this movie dozens of times.
I would hope so.
But today I had the honor of trying to watch on, like, Zumo or some shit, because it was free there.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It was some fucking... It was, like, available on Zumo and Flex. Man, there was a lot of fucking commercials. I don't recommend that shit. And my phone kept doing this thing where it's like, there's liquid in the charging port. I'm like, no, there's not. Stop it. And that lasted all day. So I had to watch this movie in like 11-minute segments. Good times.
And the government's now watching you.
I think that's fine. So before we get going on this, Greg, again, you're our virgin in this. I guess you're the final girl, since you're the one who hasn't been, soiled yet.
Hey.
He just did.
Exactly. You mentioned that you've seen you have some familiarity with the character of Michael Myers. Do you have any impressions on this movie, this particular film, before going into it?
I kind of hated Michael Myers. I always associated Michael Myers and Jason with like the slow walking killers that always appeared like right behind you. If you fell down, they would be right there. Saying that, I did not get that impression after watching the movie. I definitely appreciated it for what it was. I can kind of watch movies from the 60s or the 70s and just appreciate if they're good, because, in the early 2000s, I'd watched One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest, and I watched Midnight Express, which were movies from, I believe, the 60s or the 70s and the 80s, and they stood up for me. So I went in with a fresh mind, or a clear slate for this movie. I had seen Halloween 3, but I know Halloween 3 is all about the masks, and Michael Myers isn't in Halloween 3, but I did enjoy that one. Better. Yeah, I really enjoyed Halloween 3. It was a very weird movie, but like I also saw that when I was younger. So so going into this movie, I kind of thought Michael Myers was kind of cheesy, but as we go on, I will reveal what I actually thought.
I have to ask this, Greg. So you've seen You said you've seen 3, Season of the Witch, obviously a completely different film, doesn't even really belong in the franchise, and I'm with John. I think it's a great movie.
Yep, agreed.
What is it about this first film that you never until just now watched it? What was it that you just never decided to see? Was it because you found the character of Michael Myers annoying?
No, I think it's because I'm a liar. I think I probably, like, if Seamus and Ryan would have been like, hey, have you seen Pumpkinhead? I was like, Pumpkinhead. It's fucking awesome. It's a great movie. Yeah. I think I was just one of those guys, and I'll admit it. I was one of those guys that just said, yeah, I seen it to, like, just get it out of the way, but I have not seen it.
But again, like, why did you decide not to watch them then? You just like, nah, I ain't got time. I'm not interested. Or did you think, oh shit, it's been this long. How do I do it at this point? Like, it passed me by. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, so as the great George Costanza says, it's not a lie if you believe it. And like, I kind of just convinced myself that I had seen all these movies. And like, I have always said that I've seen The Exorcist, and I've never seen The Exorcist. I know of The Exorcist. I know of Michael Myers and Halloween, and I've seen clips, but I've never actually sat through the whole movie.
So Greg J. Hoey is the 12-year-old girl wearing the Nirvana shirt. Is that what you're telling me right now?
And my favorite song is Black Hole Sun by Nirvana. I love it. Yeah, totally. Like, I am a pathological liar, apparently.
Well, you're not entirely wrong with your assumptions about Michael Myers. I will say you have about 3 more movies before he gets his teleporting phase, but thankfully we got to skip that on this one. So, So this is going to move us into R, which is where we start talking about rehashing positives and negatives. This is just kind of roundtable. So I guess I kind of took the lead on this. So I'm going to go ahead and say, Ryan, tell us some things you'd like or dislike, or just give us some thoughts about Halloween.
All right, so I'm going to say positives. I'll start. Let's keep it positive to start. All right. I think Dr. Loomis, one of my all-time favorite horror characters. I kind of like his descent kind of into madness as the movies go on, and his like singular obsession with Michael Myers and the trench coat, fucking iconic. All right. So this time around, I was like, you know what? Still like Dr. Loomis, still a bad motherfucker. He's the only, no one ever listens to the town crier. He's like, I'm telling you, he's going to fuck people up. And he's like, hey, okay, buddy, we'll be doing other stuff. It's Halloween, kids, they do the pranks, right? All the scenes where it showed Michael Myers during the day, I think are super polarizing shots in these movies. I think it's almost more horrifying seeing him during the daytime with his stark white mask, like with the sunny day and shit behind him. And, I appreciated that this time around for sure. I'm also going to say for a negative, God damn it, what was the fucking, the chick's name that Laurie hung out with most of the movie?
Annie.
Okay, so it was Annie. She was terrible at everything. She was a horrible babysitter. She sucks at cooking. She's bad at climbing out windows. I mean, this chick just sucked. She had it coming the whole time. And then there's the whole scene. Are they smoking a cigarette or are they smoking a joint when they're fucking pulling up to the cop?
They're smoking a joint.
They're smoking a joint.
Okay. They're smoking a joint.
That cop is her dad.
Yeah, and they got the windows fucking rolled up the whole time. And they're like, heck natural. It's like, you probably should air it out the car maybe a little bit when you first saw them.
I thought that as well. I'm like, there's no fuck, as a pot smoker, a former pot smoker, like, there's no fucking way that cop did not smell that pot, especially if they were fucking hotboxing the car.
Yeah, so not only does Annie suck at everything, but her dad is the worst cop of all time.
Yeah, there's an argument. I never got why they don't just turn a different direction or just don't stop at all.
Maybe he's like Dewey Cox and he's lost his sense of smell.
That's a possibility.
It's a possibility. I want to say, oh God, this is going to be, people are going to be upset about this, but the soundtrack is only all right. These are very, very basic synthesizer fucking songs this guy is playing. And there's a fair amount. See, and I want to like it, but there's a fair amount of cheese that goes into the songs, okay? If you really analyze them, it's like, okay, well, this is kind of corny. And I knew that wasn't going to be a popular thing to say, but I'm also, it's my opinion, okay? And
Well,
if I can play it on the synthesizer, then it's no good.
You're entitled to your opinion, and on this, you are 100% wrong.
Agreed.
So
it's only 2 songs.
It doesn't matter, man. Like, for all the thing, look, I might or might not be one of those people that can't get John Carpenter's dick out of my mouth on any given day. I admit that. However, for all the things that you could say about Carpenter's career, his soundtracks, I'm sorry, they're second to no one. They're fucking amazing. And
I agree.
There's you get, whether it's this movie or The Thing or They Live or The Fog, any of them, every single like soundtrack that this man does, you're not looking at this. I mean, I know people do it now because they're stupid, but you're not listening to a Carpenter score to go through the Taco Bell drive-through. You're doing it because it's enhancing what's going on screen. And I think he nails it like flawlessly, especially in this movie.
All right, man. Yeah, for sure. I dig your opinion.
That's fine. I don't dig yours on that particular point, but whatever. So, how about let's go to our newbie? How about Greg? What are some of your thoughts on this one?
The movie like had kind of a simple formula to it in a way, and I like that about it. Like Ryan said, like him being in the day and just being out there in the open. It was just it had like a creepy vibe to it, but the formula of the movie wasn't like super complex. Like it was just this guy fucking stalking his old neighborhood and killing people a few at a time, whatever, going from house to house, and it just worked. I thought that was cool, and I really enjoyed that aspect about it. Saying that, I do agree that the soundtrack or the synthesizer was cool, and it's a very iconic sound, but in some ways, I didn't like how they played the song every time he was around. So it was like, all right, I guess he's around now because the song is going on. And I know that's the point, but sometimes I think it was a little bit overused, in my opinion. Yeah, I thought just the formula was kind of simple, and I don't know. I expected, not that I expected some like complex horror movie, but I expected something a little different, and I was pleasantly surprised.
I just want to say, like, maybe that's where I came in with the soundtrack as well. Is I was just so locked in on it. It was right up in my fucking face, and it's only like it was just the same 2 songs that just repeat throughout. I mean, I think that's what kind of took me out of it. I did not like it on initial playthrough, but then hearing it like 5 or 6 times in the course of the hour and 20-minute movie, I was like, all right, well, I get it.
Yeah. It's obviously like an iconic sound, and when you hear the sound, he's around, or you just know it's Halloween. It's just like the Jason, the even though that's not a song, but I do know he does that.
That's exactly what Jason does. Every time he's in a bush or something, he's going just to fuck with those kids.
He's like doing it himself.
Yeah, absolutely. How about negatives, Greg? You got anything that pissed you off or annoyed you with it?
So again, the pot smoking scene really. I was like, really? He can't smell that? Like, what does he do? He cocks. Said that again. But it was like that, and like I said, like sometimes the score was just kind of overplayed a little bit. But I know that was the point of it. But honestly, I didn't have a ton of nitpicks. I thought I would. Yeah, maybe that girl Annie was a little bit cheesy, and I don't remember her climbing out the window because this was only the first watch. So. Was she getting chased out the window? I can't put my finger on it.
No, she got locked in when she was doing the laundry. She's an idiot. She can't get out the window.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah, and the kid had to come let her out. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, but no, not a lot of negatives. Again, it was I don't want to give my full opinion on it, but yeah, the atmosphere was kind of cool. I liked how it took place in the daytime as well, and during the night. Some of those scenes were just him standing behind people were super fucking spooky. And one in particular, I think he was in like a hallway, whatever, like right behind somebody, and like you just kind of,
You can't kill the boogeyman.
Yeah,
there he is.
And Loomis was cool, and I had seen him before. Like I've seen clips of him before, and yeah, he was definitely a cool character. I just liked how the story was laid out very simplistically, and then you're kind of off to the races. I wasn't expecting the beginning there. Like I was like, oh, this is kind of weird perspective through Michael Myers' mask, and then it turns out it was like kid Michael Myers stabbing his sister.
There's a lot of what you guys said that I agree wholeheartedly with, like the simplicity of the first half of this film. I guess the entire film in reality, but especially the first half of the film, I've always loved. And much like Ryan said, seeing the bad guy, the monster, the evil in broad daylight, very bright daylight, is jarring to the senses, and I always love that about it. I also love the idea in this first film that it's a killer, the Shape, if you will, as he's called in the credits, having relatively no motives. Also, the mask in this first film is fucking perfection. Like, lack of emotions, representing any evil the viewer wants to throw on top of it. I'm with John. I think the fucking score is incredible. I'm just like you, John. Carpenter's scores, I think, are masterful in every one of his films. I think The Thing might be my favorite. I really love They Live as well. But this one's an icon. I don't think it can be denied. Now, I have a lot of positives. This is a movie I've loved for a long time. It's a rewatch for me, probably much like John. It's a rewatch for me every Halloween season because I think it's perfect for this time of year. Having said that, I have some negatives on this movie that are a little controversial, but I gotta tell you how I feel. I gotta speak my mind because that's who I am. So to start, Jamie Lee Curtis isn't that fucking great. She just isn't. She isn't that fucking great. I don't know why everybody points to this woman as this ultimate scream queen. Is she good in some of the other films? Sure. I don't think she's great in this movie. And her character is really weak. Like, she isn't this brave, badass final girl everybody seems to make her out to be in this movie. She's kind of weak. She does a lot of crying. Yes, she pokes the guy with some stuff. But for the most part, she's not as brave as most of the final girls we have in the 80s.
Those are true lies.
Yeah, whatever.
Also
the kid,
not the 80s. Yeah, this is the 70s still.
It's not, but anyhow, this is the template, and everybody points to her as one of the greatest, and it just fucking annoys me. The kid that plays Tommy is annoying as fuck. I can't stand this kid. Motherfucker can't unlock a door fast enough.
But he grows up to be Paul Rudd.
Time. Yeah, he sucks too in that movie, but that's a whole nother tangent for another day. Also, two other things I got to just talk about. Well, it's actually one thing. It's just two parts of this. Sure, Donald Pleasance is fine in a lot of things, but he's fucking clumsy in this movie. There's times where I feel like he forgets his lines. The character of Dr. Loomis is a fucking idiot. This goof is just standing down the street where a lot of all this stuff is taking place. And he just happens to finally walk down the street towards the end of the film to see what's going on. Fuck this guy. He has no control over this fucking patient of his. He's the reason why this shit goes off the rails in the fucking sequels. I hate Dr. Loomis. The guy is a fucking idiot. All right, that's it. That's it for me.
Holy shit! I'm so upset now.
On that,
Justin, bringing it.
You know why Dr. Loomis forgets a lot of his lines?
Because he's hammered.
He is drunk through the majority of the, like, real life drunk through the majority of the movie. Like, he very much so didn't want to do this movie and just kind of did and was drinking heavily, I guess. So
it didn't help that John Carpenter was there with the synthesizer and just kept playing the same songs over and over again. He's like, can you just stop?
So the two main things I want to hit on, because you guys have already hit on a lot of the stuff that I like, but no one said my two favorite parts of this movie. I absolutely love that this movie forces you to look at every inch of the screen, no matter what's going on, because they do such a good job hiding Michael Myers in all these different spots, or even when he's not there, it forces your eyes to kind of scan around in the background. They do a lot of cool tricks, like we've already talked about the scene where they ran into Sheriff Brackett and they're high or whatever, and Loomis is out there, huffing and moaning, but in the background you see Michael Myers in this very clearly marked car that he stole from Loomis the night before, just kind of barely in frame as he pulls away, much like Annie and Jamie probably should have done. There's scenes where Laurie's in there crying and you don't see his body, you just see the mask kind of appear in the background slowly. There's I call it the Undertaker scene, even though the Undertaker stole it much later, where she thinks he's down for the count and he just Undertakers his way up and goes right back into the ring. If the Undertaker didn't steal that from Michael Myers, I don't know where the hell he got it. I've never heard that one way or the other. Justin, you might know this more than I do, but he's got to be taking that from Michael Myers, right? So
Oh yeah, no, you see that scene, and anybody who knows the Undertaker's gimmick from the WWF, he 100% stole that from this movie.
Justin!
yeah. See, now I want a Halloween where the Undertaker and oh shit, I can't think of his name.
Pallbearer.
Yeah, Paul Bearer is Loomis and the Undertaker is Michael Myers. That would be great.
That's such a better movie, and he's such a better Loomis for sure.
Michael, come back to the sanitarium, Michael.
Well, I think I got a recast for Loomis, but we'll get to that in a little bit here. As far as the other thing that I absolutely love about this movie, and it's funny because you guys have all kind of almost, you haven't said it directly, but it's almost coming off like a negative with how you're saying it. I love the simplicity because what this movie does, and this is all John Carpenter that does this because he's the fucking master of this and wherever he wants to put it. In a word, it's tension. This movie is a slasher, but it's not a body count movie. It's not a gore fest or anything like that. This movie is all about making you feel uncomfortable and uneasy through the whole movie. And the score plays into that. The lack of like all the dead space in the screen plays into that. How they have Michael move in and out of stuff plays into that. Everything about it is about ratcheting up that tension just one click at a time for the whole like 90 minutes of the runtime up until we get to the end of the movie where he disappears at the end. And both those things, both the hiding Michael in plain sight and the tension that's in this, I've never seen it replicated or done as well in any other singular film than what it's done in this particular movie.
I definitely meant the simplicity as a positive. Like I like the fact that it was
me as well. Absolutely.
All right, I didn't. Okay, I guess I misread the room. My bad. So.
You put that beautifully, man. I mean, it absolutely is like I'm just now thinking back to like all the fucking like all the shit in the corner and how there's a lot of wide frames in this movie, and I think the way the movie's shot is fucking beautifully done. Like there's a lot of really interesting angles and shots in this movie for sure, and I love the scene where it shows him just standing fucking behind the sheets, it's like blowing outside. Like that was beautiful.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool shots of him like hiding in very creepy shots, especially for 1978. I was saying, this guy is your typical teleporting bad guy, and that's what I was expecting, and that's what I did not get. It seemed more simplistic and real compared to what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and another great shot, since you guys were talking about that, made me think of this. That shot with the kitchen where Michael kills the dude. I forget his name.
Bob.
PJ. What is it?
It's Bob.
Bob, right. So in the kitchen, and I think, if I remember correctly, I think the score kind of goes away and it's just kind of silent when Michael pins him to the cabinet with the knife and then he does the whole head tilt thing. Oh, it's so fucking good, man.
It's amazing, and I wish they never put it in any of the other movies because it's almost like one of those. If you had a Halloween movie checklist for all these, I guess with the exception of 3, there's always that kill where whether he pins someone to the wall, they did it to the wall and ends, but there's always at least one kill where he has to do the head nod thing, and just no one's ever done it as good as Nick Castle did in that scene. That's
Agreed.
Always the one that sticks out. And you're right, they do cut the score there. The only thing you hear is Michael's like heavy jerk off breathing through it. And it does kind of make it a little bit more intense, but whatever. As for negatives with it, my only real negative is that they didn't kill him in this movie. They didn't make him dead and make him stay dead. And I think that's because although I like all the movies in this franchise to some degree, this franchise never gets even remotely fucking close to making this good of a movie again. With Halloween 2, which I don't even know which sequel you want to claim is like the best with it. That's again, different conversation for a different day. But this movie just hit everything so right. It would have been so much better if they didn't decide to go into, I don't even want to say the big plot spoiler in 2 if we ever talk about it, but the things that they add to this to try and flush out the lore and where this franchise goes, it's all so fucking dumb. Just have this be a simple guy who's just wants to kill people. That's all this movie needs to be. I mean, if we're going to have, I shot him 6 times, he falls out the window and then he disappears, but that's still the end of the movie, I would have been fine with that. But leaving the door open kind of fucking sucks, because closing that door just would have made this such a stronger movie. And you can almost think about a movie like Black Christmas, which I know has a bunch of reboots now, but never had like a proper sequel. That movie stands the test of time because there's no sequel to that movie. The reboots all suck.
Very similar ending in that film too.
Yeah, there's a lot of similar, like, I know Black Christmas was what, 4 years before that? Was that 74? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
But that movie, I mean, if that wasn't like the biggest inspiration to this movie, I don't know what would be.
Right.
Someone farted.
Never seen it.
Well, Christmas is coming. I don't know that that's going to be the one we talk about, but we'll see what happens. So,
No, I was talking about the fart, but I haven't seen that either. Black Christmas.
Anyone else got anything they want to add in? Good, bad, indifferent?
I guess the only other thing I'd throw in is I was surprised by the lack of gore in this movie. Like, I hadn't seen it in a while. I didn't realize Michael was so into strangulation. Like, he was really into that shit. I know it gets gorier as it goes on, especially, I mean, 2 really ramps the violence up. But yeah, I think that kind of surprised me by just, I was like, oh, this isn't really that gory of a movie at all.
It's surprising. I think if you look at it from like and I bet Greg probably thought the same thing with that because he hadn't seen it. But when you know this movie had a $300,000 budget, was made like as independent as movies could be made in the 70s, honestly, there's part of me that likes all the crazy gore stuff. I mean, if anyone's listened to my show, they're aware of that. But I think this movie stands stronger because doing a movie like this with this kind of budget and these kind of limitations forces creativity and forces you to make the audience think a different way. Where, let's be real, for the most part, if you know how to make gore effects, anyone can go out and make a fucking Terrifier movie. You just get a fucker to dress up like a clown and cut people in half. It's fine for what it is, but Damien Leone's not reinventing the wheel by any stretch of the imagination. This movie, even if you compare it to the other slasher movies of the 70s, of the 80s, and so on, this movie has a distinctly different feel to it. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that the budget wouldn't allow them to just make a splatterfest.
Word.
Look at me just shutting everyone the fuck up. So.
I did notice that it was not very gory. I don't know what I expected with that because I know it's in the 70s. I know it wasn't going to, but I know a lot of movies in the 80s have some pretty insane practical effects. And I don't know that there's any movies in the 70s that have insane gore, but I know it probably took off a little bit more in the 80s. Am I wrong to say that?
Well, you saw Alien. That's got some pretty good gore in it.
Well, yeah, I guess that's early. That's late 70s, I guess. Now I think about it, I thought that was 80s, but that is 78. Call.
Yeah, there are, but horror movies just weren't, like, the 80s brought excess and cocaine, and that's why you got what the 80s were. Like, the 70s, they had the cocaine, but they weren't to the excess yet, and I don't think horror had, at least this kind of horror, I don't think it really found its audience until the 80s. I mean, I wasn't there for it. I mean, I was a kid through the majority of it, so I don't know, but I think if you look at just the evolution of the genre, I think that's kind of where it found its audience, and then that's why it just got bigger and crazier and so on.
Thank goodness for cocaine.
Yeah, no shit. Breakfast of Champions. So, all right. Unless anyone wants to tag in, throw something else in, we can kind of pivot and move over to the A part of trash. Right in the A, we're going to go to the audience reaction. Again, unless someone wants to say otherwise.
No, let's do it.
Yep.
So, Greg, most of these should be in your possession here if you want to go ahead and we can chime in and call people smart or dumb or whatever we want to do if you want.
Yeah, so I asked my bosses today. I have 2 bosses, and they're both in their 50s, and they remember it and love it and still watch it every year, they told me, unless they were lying to me. My boss, Ryan, gave it a 7, and my boss, John, gave it a 7 hard.
Now, Greg, this is on the Crustometer, I would assume?
Yes, this is a Crustometer, 1 through 8, the world-famous Crustometer, which I said to them. On Instagram, Pearly, she said it's an easy 8. Carpenter nailed the ambience with the score, creepy mask, and relatable final girl. It always hits. It's so rewatchable.
I can't argue any of that.
Yeah. So BP from Let's Talk Horror Channel said, the OG Halloween for me, using your rating method, is the absolute highest at an 8. For me, this movie is 10 Goldblums out of a possible 10 Goldblums, which is the highest level of Goldblums that can be given.
Now you need to read it in a British accent.
The OG Halloween for me, using your rating method, is the absolute highest at an 8. But for me,
That's
this
actually
movie,
pretty fucking
I was
good.
going to say,
It's
you're
10
doing better than I
Goldblums.
thought you would. So
Out of a possible
Holy.
10 Goldblums, which is the highest level of Goldblums that can be given.
That was fucking
Holy.
incredible. I
Oh,
would have
yeah,
shit the
Greg.
bed on that one.
Isn't it?
All of Europe just stood up and clapped for you. It was insane. I can hear it over here.
I mean, you
I
did
wonder
better
if I
than
could-
me. Whenever I end up doing a British impersonation, I end up sounding like Conor McGregor. So you're doing good.
I end up sounding like Crocodile Dundee.
I transferred to Australian. Well, maybe I can steal some of their acting jobs because they're stealing all ours. To be or not to be movies said it's an 8. I mean, it is the slasher movie, and the slasher or the is capitalized. It defined the whole genre. Others came before it, but afterwards, everyone was chasing Carpenter.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
I was chasing carpet, eh?
Hey now, Kate from Down Under.
Oi!
Thank you. I think I gave it a 7 on the story. It might not have sent.
I think I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7. It's near perfect to me. The start of a killer franchise, amazing final girl, and the birth of a slasher legend.
I give it 7 out of 8 koalas.
No shade to Kate. Kate's amazing. All right.
Yeah. Koalas or not,
Okay.
they have chlamydia. All the koalas transmit chlamydia. So don't pet them.
They look cuddly and cute.
Great.
Also from Instagram, Spud McKenzie. It's a solid 6, but loses points because Loomis is a bitch and doesn't plug him sooner.
He's so right.
Yes.
Also, Surviving Horror Podcast said it's an 8, straight up 8. If 8's the best, it's an 8.
Well, unless you have a 9-slice fucking pizza, 8's the best.
Yeah, that's a crooked pizza cut. We remember
What do you do with the
that.
9th slice? Fuck.
You eat it.
Well, right.
Justin, you said you had a few.
Yeah, I got a few. I got some people to chime in. So Jeremy from Fans of the Dead, fellow member of the You Run Podcast Network, says, I'd give it a solid 7. Mika G from Cinematic Nightmares Podcast says, I'm definitely giving it a 7 out of 8. Carpenter nailed the suspense and the score is legendary. Plus, Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie is iconic, but some parts drag a bit and a few characters feel flat. So it's not perfect, but still a classic. Brandy, the Terrific Lady and part of Retro Horror School, says, I will go 7 out of 8 because by now I've seen it so many times. I have to be in the mood for it, but it's John Carpenter and helped kick off the 80s slasher craze. My friend Sean Jones from Smoking Sounds podcast says I'd give it a solid 6. Classic horror movie, crazy B movie that became one of the biggest horror franchises of all time, with maybe one of the most recognizable characters in horror. Larry Reed from Your Move Creep podcast says I'd say a 7. I think you forget with the recent sequels being a bit pants that Carpenter made an iconic film which has stood the test of time. Anastasia from Attack of the Killer Objects, What in the Wild World of Cinema, and Horror versus Reality says, get ready for this. I would give it a 4. It's not awful, and it's a classic, but I'd rather not. And then finally, 2 more. Will from Facebook says, you mean the best slasher ever made that didn't take place in space or an ocean? And then Josh from Facebook says, Scream edges it out by a hair, but a very close second. That's it.
Say Scream? Fuck,
That's
man.
actually, I'd have fun with that debate, but that's, again, different podcast, different time. So
Yeah.
you're
Right,
talking
love
about 2
Scream.
different generations. So
Yeah, one of the generations was suckier. Anyways.
clearly. But so let's move right along. We're going to switch things up. This is kind of where we can talk about changes you might want to see in this. Is, you know, if you listen to probably any of our shows, you've heard us talk about recasting things, maybe doing a double feature selection, any of that type of stuff. What would you pair this movie with? Who would you drop in, whether it's a actor, character, whatever, have some fun with it. Ryan, let's start with you.
Oh, great. Yeah, I want Tom Hanks as Dr. Loomis. I want Tim Allen as Laurie Strode.
Oh yes.
I basically want the cast of Toy Story, but in this movie.
I was hoping for Tim Allen from the show Home Improvement, so he's grunting the whole time. Yeah.
Well,
Every
that'd be a
time
bitch
that
if he
Michael
was
comes-
Michael Myers.
Every time Michael walks through the door, Laurie goes,
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, everybody hates Dr. Loomis, so I don't know. I don't know what to do now. Everything I thought I liked about the movie, I'm not allowed to like anymore. So, look, man. Again, I like the soundtrack fine. Okay, I needed more variety in the fucking songs. You could do 8 songs, okay? 8 creepy songs. And I get this was 1970, whatever the fuck, and you had one synthesizer and you were bored. 4 songs. Let's do 4 songs. All right. Anything.
It has "Don't Fear the Reaper" in it too. You know.
Oh shit. Yeah, well, that was half the movie's budget to clear that. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Sometimes less is more, you know?
There's a lot to like about this movie, so it's not a ton I would change. I mean, you could replace whoever the fuck in the cast. It's not going to really fucking matter. I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis is all that amazing in that movie. She peaked in True Lies. Do it again. Do it slowly.
She's definitely not all that. That's Rachel Lee Cook.
Oh God.
What?
She's not all that. That's Rachel Lee Cook.
Shut up, Greg. Whatever. It's fine. I don't. Anyone's interchangeable. You could throw Busta Rhymes in it, but who's going to do that in a fucking Michael Myers movie? You know. So it doesn't really matter with the cast for me. I mean, I just want to see Michael Myers do his thing, and I guess I don't want to see Loomis hysterically chasing after him. Loomis could have been played by Mark Hamill. There you go. There's my recast. What's wrong with Mark Hamill?
Everything. Ryan, just so you know, for the record, just in case you're curious, the original release of the soundtrack has 11 tracks on it. The 20th anniversary release has 28 tracks on it.
Okay, well, you know what? So he made like another 20 tracks after. He's like, yeah, this is the release. But really, it's just he wanted to release a John Carpenter album.
You might not be wrong, because the soundtrack didn't release till 1983, so 5 years after the movie. So
the B-sides.
Yeah. I heard John Carpenter's starting an Oingo Boingo cover band. I can't wait to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Move the fuck on. I'm done.
Justin, how about you? How do you want to switch things up for the 1978?
I have no fucking clue how to ever follow Ryan, but I'll do my best. So, I actually do have some ideas, and I also have a double feature I'd like to talk about, starting with something I would change up. I already said it earlier. I don't want a doctor character. Fuck that guy. The Shape just tracks his prey and kills. No background story, and I know we don't get much of that in the first film. That's later on, but it just eliminates all the bullshit to follow with this convoluted backstory. As far as the recast, I already said I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis is that great. So I'm going to go ahead and recast her for the character of Laurie with Sissy Spacek, because I think Sissy Spacek's fucking amazing and carries an awesome film, and I don't care what anyone says about it. Now,
I agree.
Let me tell you about my double feature. I think a natural double feature with Halloween would be the movie New Year's Evil. I love the late 70s look and feel of that film. It's another mysterious killer and a bit of a convoluted story as well. It's holiday themed. It pairs well with Halloween. That's what I want.
Pairs well with the chicken. Nice.
Spicy.
Greg, how about you? What do you want to change up on this?
So, again, my first watch, like Ryan said, I mean, I guess you could switch up the cast and it wouldn't be, totally noticeable, I guess. But I kind of went like all over the place with like actors from, modern day and actors from back in the day. So I thought Rose McGowan to replace Jamie Lee Curtis.
Put her in anything and everything. I'll watch it.
I was gonna say, you're just saying that to get brownie points with Jonathan.
No, I was trying to think of I was thinking of Jawbreaker.
Why did you throw Linnea Quigley in there too?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not trying to score brownie points.
She just make out with Jonathan the rest of the time.
So
don't forget Patty Mullen. I like her too.
Yes, I love Patty Mullen as well.
Greg, clarification. Is this Rose McGowan machine gun leg or Sans machine gun leg?
Oh, this
Don't
is
care.
obviously Rose McGowan machine gun leg.
Okay.
100%.
So, Dr. Loomis, let's replace Dr. Loomis with the doctor from Hellraiser 2 Hellbound. Thank you. Let's go with Lawrence Fishburne for the cop, because I know he would smell that weed. And let's Michael Myers. Let's go Danny DeVito. You know,
Oh my God.
he could be easily. You know, if Danny DeVito dropped some weight, it was just a little Michael Myers. You know, he could hide anywhere. You're like, oh shit, is that Michael Myers in my mailbox? You know,
He could blend in with the trick-or-treaters.
so I would say either Rose McGowan or what's her name from Mean Girls,
Lindsay Lohan?
Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, yes, please. I love her.
Now I'm just kissing Justin's ass. What's up?
I was going to say, she's my Rose McGowan.
So I kissed everyone's ass. I did the doctor for Ryan. But yeah, again, like you don't have to, like, you know, the movie's good as it is, but we're just having a little fun with the recast. And as far as a double feature, I would say Hellraiser 2 Hellbound, because I love it. And
Because it's the only
It's
horror
the
film
only
he's
movie
ever
you've
seen.
seen.
I've seen a handful of horror movies. Okay, how about The Thing starring very sexy Kurt Russell?
Oh, yes. Great beard. Great head of hair.
Yes.
I wish I had one of his hairs.
Me too, and I'm very jealous of that. So I just demean me and Justin because we're both bald.
Yeah. I'm bald. Bald.
Kurt Russell also films the first podcast ever in that movie, so, you know, good for him.
That's true.
Yes.
So for me, as far as a recast goes, I'm also recasting Loomis, but I'm going to go a little wackier with it. I'm straight up putting Frank Costanza in there and just letting him go as Frank Costanza as he possibly can.
You want a piece of me?
I'm leaving everyone else exactly the same. I just want Frank Costanza in there just acting as Frank as he possibly can, which I think would be a good grounded level of comedy to kind of throw into this movie. As for
Now you want the doctor.
Yeah.
right, as for a double feature, we've mentioned this movie doesn't really go very far with the gore, so I have a bloodlust that I need to satisfy. I'm pairing it with 1980s Maniac, which is about as fucked up and gory as a movie as you can get in about this era. Tom Savini at some of his best, and yeah, that's a movie that if you haven't seen it, that movie will make you feel all kinds of queasy. So it's a good one.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know if we'll
No
get to that
shit.
one or not. Like that's a movie that, like, I'm not surprised you haven't seen that one. So, but it pairs good with it. It's got that like borderline grind. This might even, depending who you ask, might be a grindhouse movie. I'm not going to call it that, but dark, fucked up, and definitely kind of picks up the body count from where you would have left off in Halloween for sure.
Man, Frank Costanza would be all over that shuffleboard court.
Be amazing. So he could just go up to Sheriff Bracken and be like, "This is Frank Costanza." That should be all you need to do. So
One of the best lines ever.
So this kind of is where we're going to start to wrap up, and let's do it this way. So usually it's going to be Justin and myself giving you our impressions first, and then Greg's going to close it out since he's new to this, since Ryan's with us, and we like Ryan. Ryan, why don't you start off? How do you like Crustometer or whatever we're calling it? Go ahead and rate this motherfucker.
Oh, well, I'm going to go 7 out of 8 Crust for this shit. I mean, it was nice to go back and watch it. I mean, I love the way it was shot. It's beautifully shot, you know, and it gives, there was 80s titties. So, yeah, it was fine. Also, the sex scene in that movie was less than 40 seconds long. Yeah, she wants a beer immediately after.
They are teenagers.
True. So, yeah, 7 out of 8 Crust for me, man. Thanks for letting me join you guys to discuss this wonderful film.
Justin, you want to go ahead and give your thoughts on this? So
Yeah, I mean, it probably came across as I was pretty negative on this movie. A lot of it, I think, is the franchise more so than the movie itself. Like, I think this film is a bona fide classic. I think it's an iconic score by Carpenter. It's the less is more approach that's very effective. If this were a one-off, I think this film would probably be one of the all-time greats to me. Again, with the sequels kind of watering down the legacy, I think that's what hurts a little bit. Plus, again, Loomis kind of annoys the shit out of me. I've had enough Laurie Strode. I just can't fucking take it anymore. Having said all that, I'm probably a 7.5. I'm not a full 8, but it is a hell of a good movie. There's a lot of things it does really well. You guys talked about a lot of that. I did as well. I definitely have more nostalgia for the Friday the 13th franchise and even A Nightmare on Elm Street. Those were the ones I kind of grew up on. Plus, they were a lot more fun and a lot more entertaining, in my opinion. And they leaned a lot more into pop culture. I know it's because of their era and everything as well. But yeah, like I said, having said all that, I still think this holds up. I think it's a great movie for what it is, especially as a standalone. 7.5 out of 8.
I didn't realize we were scratching here. So I'm a straight up 8 on this. I love this movie. This is one of the few movies that as a child, it did freak me out because it just seemed plausible compared to like a movie like The Exorcist, where even as a kid, I'm like, that seems dumb. So I think everything about this movie is done right. This is one of those movies that it's a classic for a reason. And I've never taken a film class, but if I did, I would hope that this is a movie that comes up whenever they talk about how to create suspense and atmosphere and make a scary movie. I really don't have any major negatives with that, which is rare to say, even about movies I love. And, the rest of the franchise is a whole different conversation. You almost could really pick this one apart more so than most franchises movie by movie because they take so many fucked up twists and turns. But this movie is about as damn close to perfect as a slasher can get. And it's not even my favorite of the series. So whatever that's worth. And Greg, your cherry's now been popped. You have all kinds of pumpkin seeds and all pollinated all over your face, neck, and chest. Tell us what you think about this movie.
This movie, for me, on the Crustometer, first time watch, gets a 7 out of 8. I really enjoyed it. I thought the formula was simple, but like you said, it felt real. Not like it's real life, but it was not like a ridiculous horror movie or slasher movie. It was very creepy. Like, I was kind of creeped out at parts when he was kind of hiding in the background. I thought it was going to be over the top, and I thought it was going to be like absolutely ridiculous. And it wasn't. It felt natural. Sure, yeah, Loomis might be a little crazy. I thought the score was good with it. It felt good. It felt like a 7 out of 8 for me. It was very good. Not perfect. Could there be more gore? Yeah, but it was in the 70s. I just like the atmosphere of it, and some of the actors were annoying, I guess, but like not too much to like push me away from it. I thought it was 7 out of 8.
So it sounds like for the most part we enjoyed this movie, even though there was plenty of bitching going on about it. So that's a good thing. So
Yeah, I'm hard.
Does anyone else want to throw anything in before we start wrapping here?
No.
A 1, a 2, a 3 into the 4. Oh, okay. I thought we were rapping.
You can do that. So I'll just say before Greg brings it, or Ryan, whoever wants to bring us home on this, this is something we've talked about doing as a monthly occurrence. So we do have next month sort of talked about. So if you enjoyed this, keep an eye out on social media for sleepaway camp posts coming from the You Can Eat That Crust podcast feeds. That's what we'll be talking about next month. And with that in mind, whoever wants to that actually hosts the show, why don't you go ahead and bring us home?
We want to thank everyone for listening. You're all beautiful, beautiful people. Greg, we couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can follow us on Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and X, I think, still, maybe. We are proud members of the You Run Podcast Network, as is Justin from Pop Culture Reflections. Check out his show. Check out the Dewey Podmonster with John and Sean. Go to yourunpodcast.com and check out all the awesome shows. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Pod, YouTube, and for just as low as $1. If you want to join our Patreon and help the show, you get episodes up to a week early, and you help us out a lot. And thank you all for listening, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, we come together. We're the temple of the dog of podcast networks, aren't we? But you know what? We ain't going hungry.
Oh.
We ain't going hungry.
I like that comparison. Can I be
No.
Chris Cornell?
No, definitely not, dude. You're the bass player.
Sick. I am.
This player has all the rhythm.
Yeah.
Not this one. No offense. You're the best, Greg. I don't know if I'm supposed to say in Crust we trust, but I'm just going to say it anyway because old habits die hard. In Crust we trust.
We trust.
Yeah.
Stuff crust, yeah, come with stuff crust. A nigga some mystery, yeah, come with stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, come with stuff crust. So much cheese gonna bust, yeah, come with stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, come with stuff crust. A nigga some mystery, yeah, come with stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, come with stuff crust. So much cheese gonna bust, yeah, come with stuff crust.